2022 NFL Draft coverage on Keon Sports is brought to you by JBL Roofing and Construction. Sports fans and homeowners alike, let me take this moment to tell you about JBL Roofing and Construction. JBL is a licensed, bonded, and an insured contractor with experience to complete any job needed for your home or property. Let our team of professionals help you with vinyl siding, windows, roofing, and gutters. Get the job done right the first time and stress-free with JBL. Call them today at 330-677-9463. That's 330-677-9463. Or visit them on the web at jblrc.com. Jeffrey Protects Insurance. In today's day and age, insurance from someone you can trust is more important than ever, and you won't make a better choice than Jeffrey Protects Insurance. At JPI, they specialize in Medicare, healthcare services, and life insurance. Visit them at jeffreyprotects.com or call them at 330-304-7267. That's 330-304-7267. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop, a staple of the community since 1954. Dave's Golden Shear Barbershop has been your trusted barber for nearly a century of great haircuts. With affordable prices and excellent customer service, there is no better place to get your cut. It is located at 26915 Center Ridge Road in Westlake. And TNT Construction, your top choice for residential, commercial remodeling, construction, and building services, not only in Cleveland, but all of Northeast Ohio. Look them up today at tntcleveland.com. It is time to talk about the cornerbacks and the 2022 NFL Draft. And corner is a position that probably gets more and more emphasis each and every single year, as it feels like more quarterbacks come into the league that have been tearing it up. Really, I'd mentioned in an earlier show that the whole AFC is loaded. There's still a lot of good, talented quarterbacks in the NFC as well who can sling it, and it's important to have good cornerbacks out there who can defend some of the great elite receivers in the NFL right now, and those quarterbacks can tear apart a defense. So to prevent your defense from being torn apart, get one of these good coverage corners, and there are a lot of them. Again, you've seen all the way down to 4 at this point, and we'll take a look at the starting corners. And before I touch on the top 3 corners in the unveiling here, there's always maybe some disagreements, and people are going to disagree with the actual rankings that are going to come out here. In my opinion on this, if I felt like I was going to get any heat on a class, this is maybe one of them. But it's going to be interesting to see how this group turns out. It's hard to tell because some of the guys that have the most talent, they also maybe have some other weaknesses that others don't have. So I think I'm going to surprise you here a little bit with this one, but we'll wait and see everybody's reactions. Again, feel free to make sure to leave us a comment here in the YouTube video in the comment section. Again, you can reach out to us, keonsports.com, find the social media pages as well. So, but we will wait and see how everybody feels about this. And that's because number 3, Derek Stingley Jr. of LSU. I know I'm coming out guns blazing with a surprise that Stingley's not the number 1 corner for me. For most everybody, he is. He's widely regarded as the most talented cornerback in this class, and he is. I'm not saying that he's not the most talented corner. He absolutely is the most talented corner of the group. So what are my concerns with Stingley? Well, my major concerns with him is I think he has some inconsistent focus on the field. There are some plays where he just switches off, just like that. He needs to be fully engaged every single play, and I don't know if he's had that in him. I'm also skeptical because of Caleb Farley last season. Farley had his injury issues, still went in the first round, was a top-rated corner, and I question if he's going to be able to stay healthy, if he'll be playing the full next season. What's going to happen with Derek Stingley? Again, that Farley situation still just lingers a little bit too much in my head here. But as for the ability of Stingley, he's got great ball skills. Elite speed, fluid hips. He can lock up really most any wide receiver in man-to-man coverage. He's one of the best out there doing that. He has some great initial instincts at how to get to the football. It's just those couple concerns hurt Stingley's evaluation. He's going to be a cornerback 1 or 2 in any given offense that he lands in immediately as long as he stays healthy. It's a question of if he can do that. My player comparison for him, he's a mix of Trayvon Diggs as well as Denzel Ward. He's much better in coverage than Diggs is, but he has the ball skills of Diggs. Diggs can intercept the football like none other in the NFL, but Stingley is definitely more consistent in man-to-man coverage and is better than Diggs there. That's where the Denzel Ward ability slides in. I think Ward has some fluid hips, again, some elite speed. That's where Stingley is as well. He's a first-round player. He'll probably be the first corner off the board, but I wonder if any teams out there have the same concerns that I have, especially with some similar situations in the past lingering in the back of people's minds. Now for the best fits for Stingley. Well, New England would be an excellent fit there. Do I think he would actually get to New England in this draft? No, I do not. And some of these teams might need to come up to get Stingley if they really want him. But if he falls, and he falls quickly, then it could be really advantageous for some of these teams to make a move. I still think the secondary of the Patriots, they need to keep working on that. I had mentioned before in another show as well that the Buffalo Bills, still chasing the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen can sling it. Add to that secondary because you're going to be going up against some pass-heavy teams. The Las Vegas Raiders, they can continue to add to their secondary as well, adding an excellent corner here in Stingley. I think they were a little thin at corner last season. They can still take strides in the right direction. You're in a division now against Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, and Patrick Mahomes. You better be able to cover. And then the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, they need another corner there. Again, they can improve on that secondary. Really all over that defense, they can still make some improvements, so would be a good fit for Stingley. My wild card team, the Cincinnati Bengals. If Stingley can make it to the Cincinnati Bengals, this could be a good move for Cincinnati. They've had some good success with LSU talent. Again, they can go back, snag another LSU player, add to that secondary. Defense is pretty good. They have a decent linebacker group. That defensive line really performed last season. Good pieces in the secondary, but they can just add another one and get that much better as they want to return to the Super Bowl. At number 2, Ahmad Sauce Gardner, Cincinnati. Gardner is a long, lean, very athletic corner. Now, I think he's best in zone coverage, but he's still pretty proficient in press man coverage, good at either. That speed that he has, it allows him to run down ball carriers. He's actually even maybe the best corner in this class at blitzing off the edge. A wrinkle in the scheme, perhaps, that a defense can throw to another team with Sauce Gardner out there and run those corner blitzes. I think he can improve as a tackler. He still gets too grabby with receivers. Again, that draws some penalty flags. So you can't get too grabby in the NFL. Again, they're always reviewing that. They're paying attention. We see a lot of flags come out. We saw it this past postseason. We've seen it in years prior. We've seen it through the regular season. So he's going to have to watch getting too grabby with the receivers. But he's versatile. I think he could play at really any corner position out there, whether that's inside or outside. He has a ton of ability, and it's going to pay off in the NFL. So Sauce Gardner, I would say watch out for him. Maybe the second, maybe the third corner off the board. He'll go in the first round. My player comparison for him, A.J. Terrell. Now Terrell, a young guy, played as a nickel corner for the Falcons, had a lot of success there, really was the Falcons' best corner playing at nickel. I wouldn't be surprised to see Gardner do much of the same. Depending upon the system, he might end up outside, but he can play either and be successful. But regardless, he'll go somewhere in the first round, and here are the best fits for him. The Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore, they have Marlon Humphreys, struggled a little bit more last season compared to seasons prior, looking to rebound. You add a guy like Gardner, again, that's only going to help strengthen that secondary. Buffalo, still good safeties, can continue to improve at corner. Gardner would give them that improvement. The Philadelphia Eagles have Darius Slay, but on top of Darius Slay, you can add Sauce Gardner. he'd probably be the cornerback 2 for you right away. And then for the wild card team, the Washington Commanders. The Commanders have some ability up front, rushing the passer, can stop the run. They just need help on the back end, and Gardner would give them that help that they need. Now at number 1. Number 1, Roger McCreary of Auburn. Yes, do most people look at him as a 4th, 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th corner in this class? A lot do. Why do I rank him as my number 1 guy? It's because I can't find a weakness. I can't really find a flaw in his game. Really, most everything is really good. He's not the fastest, he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest corner, but he does everything well. That's why he's my top cornerback. I don't really have much of a concern. He is very consistent with his play out there. He's quick at changing directions, drops those hips and moves quickly. He really breaks on the ball fast as well when he's reading a quarterback's eyes. His excellent reactions help him get to the football, and it feels like he is always touching the football. He jumps the routes, is able to tip it, bat passes down. He makes it difficult for the quarterback, delivering it to the wide receivers, and he always makes it difficult on the wide receivers trying to make the catch. He tracks the ball well, and he's a willing tackler. McCreary will come up, he'll wrap up, he can stop running backs, he can stop really any ball carrier. I don't have concerns with his tackling ability in the run game either. Now, despite not being overly long, he's an outside corner. He's going to fit in best on the outside. He could play inside if needed, but again, he'll be best out there. And I think he's the potential to be elite and be a Pro Bowler. Like I said, Stingley has more talent. I would say that Gardner might be more talented as well. Because McCreary doesn't have weaknesses in his game that the others have some weaknesses, McCreary's that number 1 guy. And I think people are going to be surprised by the way he shows up in the league, and I think he's going to be very successful. Again, we can always be wrong with prospects, but my best guess is McCreary is going to catch a lot of people by surprise, and a team at the end of the first round, early second round, is going to get really lucky that he fell to them. My player comparison for McCreary is Darrelle Revis. Yes, Revis Island. I think that there is some potential there in the sense of, was Revis the fastest guy out there? No, Revis wasn't, but he was just a really excellent corner, and he shut down guys. He played tight man coverage. He read the quarterback's eyes well and could jump the routes. He seemed to get his hands on the football all the time, and that's what McCreary does as well. I mentioned that late first, early second round is where McCreary's probably going to go. He's going to go after Stingley, Gardner, probably Booth, maybe even another corner or so. But where could he fall to? What would be the best fits? Best fits for him, the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals still looking to improve that defense, looking to improve the secondary. McCreary would be a perfect fit, as the Cardinals might not only look to take 1 corner in this draft, they might even go for 2 corners. I wouldn't be shocked by that. The San Francisco 49ers. I love their defensive line. I mean, how could you not love their defensive line? The ability they have up there is impressive. Their linebackers, they're pretty solid. But I think the secondary has not been the same over the last couple of years. They still need some work back there. McCreary would then be their star corner. He's going to be able to help against that NFC West, which has talented receivers and talented quarterbacks. Then Chicago. I think of physical defense. They usually are a physical defense. McCreary has some physicality himself, can come up and stop the run. Might be a good fit there with the Bears. And then my wild card team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, they're going to look to return to the Super Bowl as Tom Brady's come back once again. They have weapons on the defense. They have a good offense. Just little pieces here or there looking to fill. And you add McCreary to that secondary, and he helps elevate your team to the next level. Again, maybe could also help push the Buccaneers in the right direction to make it right back to the Super Bowl where they were, not this past year, but the year prior when they won. A lot of great talent in this draft at this position. Again, been a ton of fun breaking down these prospects. One last position group up. Make sure to pay attention to the safeties tomorrow.